Hello, everybody. I'm Ray Jordan. I hope this finds you at a good time. You may have come here from my previous video, which was an introduction into retracting your energy. And I'm really glad for the overwhelming positive response. I knew that it could be a very controversial video, but because the majority of you were open to listening and could tell that the message wasn't about not loving yourself, but instead was pointing at a particular action. So I want to say thank you so much for the emails and some of the comments. So I want to say a huge thank you for that. Just to let you know, if you do need help in your own personal manifestation journey, I do offer coaching. I also have a 28-day program which aids you in manifesting your specific person. And if you would like to learn more about retracting your energy, the last video that I've released is an introduction into retracting your energy. And the video that will be released after this will be about retracting your energy. I also have a class which was once exclusive to only the 28-day program about retraction in its fullest element, which is now being made available to those who would like to learn more about energy retraction and how it works. So let's get into this video. Why you should practice the act of self-love whilst manifesting your SB. Okay, so guys, self-love should be the foundation on which you manifest everything. Not some things, but everything. However, the dimensions of self-love are endless, and nobody on this planet can fully master it. But when it comes to relationships, there are two important components in love that stand out. They are setting your boundaries, and number two is knowing your value. So, knowing your value. When you aren't aware of your value, you will always be taken advantage of. You will always play the loser in your own story. You know what? I'm going to give you an example of how not knowing the value of something works. So in 2013, there was a family in New York. They went to a garage boot sale and they saw a very beautiful, cheap, plain, but beautiful white bowl. And they bought it. And it just so happens that white bowl was not just any white bowl, but it was 1,000-year-old Chinese bowl, which was later sold for $2.25 million. Now, how would you feel if you were the host of that garage boot sale, knowing that you had something in your possession worth millions, but you hadn't even sold it for a $5? Now, that's what happens when you aren't aware of the value of something or the value of yourself. You always lose. The second point was setting boundaries. Setting boundaries reigns supreme in having any kind of healthy relationship. Ask yourself, what do I accept in my relationships? If your partner is somebody who is constantly mean to you, or if your experiences with your partner is sometimes a dangerous one, do you stay in the name of love? Do you set boundaries? You know, a relationship shouldn't be something that is painful. It should be centered around love and respect, not your fear of being alone. And like I always say, please don't use spirituality as a crutch to be mistreated. Don't do it. Just because you're spiritually enlightened now does not mean that you get to just totally neglect the physical and just try and manifest every situation away. If you're using the sentiment that you are creating a reality to justify being mistreated, you know what? You're fooling yourself. When you find yourself in a fire, you get out. You don't stay in that fire and close your eyes and try and manifest the fire out. You know, people who cannot set boundaries, I normally find are people that have concluded their joy or their life purpose or their happiness is reliant on their specific person. If you've decided that in this world of 7.5 billion people, that there is only one you could have a wonderfully fulfilling relationship with, you were sadly mistaken. Yes, you can be in a wonderful relationship with your specific person. But if you see this person as the thing responsible for your joy and your happiness, how can you take them off a pedestal? How can you? Please hear me out. If this person is the source of your joy, your happiness, the reason for going on in life, the only one for you, then really and truly you have no choice but to put them on a pedestal. How could I give you any other advice? If they're the only person in this world that can do that for you, how can you take them off this enormously high pedestal you might have put them on? That's why you must remember that this law that we're operating is a law of plenty. For instance, I may want to manifest a specific job. Consciously and subconsciously, I acknowledge that there are so many other wonderful jobs in this world. But I want this job. I make it so much easier for myself. I want this specific job though. And I think even subconsciously, even when we have a dream job in mind, we always know, well, there's always better somehow. I might find the same job, better role, better pay closer to my house. We always have that subconscious knowledge that there is more. And that's the best way to look at manifesting a specific person. Know that there's plenty first. If you don't, you will automatically be manifesting from a place of desperation and fear, and you cannot manifest that way. If you're manifesting and your foundation is built on fear, if your manifestation does arrive, it will continue to reflect that fear. A consequence of manifesting your SB without self-love being at the core of your manifestation is you could manifest a relationship with your SB, but a loveless one. It happens all the time. People are in relationships where they're aware that they could do absolutely anything to their partners, and their partner will still stay in this loveless relationship because they value their crumbs of validation over their own self-worth. People are well aware, and people are in relationships like this all the time. And when you manifest, you want to manifest right. You don't just want to manifest a specific person. You want to manifest a loving relationship with that specific person. The second reason why I encourage you to love yourself before extending your love to your SB is you might be back. And there is absolutely no need for you to come back here. I don't see why you would enjoy trying to keep on manifesting your specific person. Some people spend years manifesting an on and off relationship with their specific person, and it's just a reflection of the relationship that they have with themselves internally. They get their prized possession back, they lose them again, then they get their prized possession back again, and then their prized possession is gone again. And they're addicted to this cycle. Researching how to manifest their SB becomes their whole lives. And truly, guys, truly, I don't want that for you. I just don't want that for you. I want you to manifest the right way. And the right way is when you love yourself. With self-love, there is absolutely no failure. So all in all, self-love in itself is not the key ingredient to manifesting your SB, but rather it is the ingredient that will keep you in a loving, a wholesome relationship with them. It's the thing that keeps your relationship going. It's the key component that will sustain that relationship, and you'll get the best relationship from it. So guys, I'm going to conclude this by saying self-love in itself is an endless journey. The idea of you fully loving yourself before you could be in a good relationship isn't true. In fact, it's quite impossible. You just need to acknowledge your self-worth. Your worthiness doesn't rely on you being young, rich, beautiful, or healthy. It comes from the very fact that you just are. That's it. You could have achieved absolutely nothing in your life, and your life would still be a valuable one. I'm Ray Jordan. I love you all, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.